When I was 20, I was sexually assaulted by my landlord. It was 1986. Um, it was actually Halloween Day. Um, and despite that, I love Halloween. I never did, for whatever reason, associate it with that day. I'm not sure why. I've probably relived that day more than any other day ever. Um, for about 7 or 8 years, I couldn't be around anybody who had beer on their breath. Um, that was too much for me. Uh, and in all honesty, all things considered, on the scale of being sexually assaulted, it was at the lower end of it, and I'm grateful for that. My landlord did tell me that day, as I was going back in my house, that he would be back for more, and um, I had no doubt that he would. Being my landlord, he had a key to my house and knew that my roommates went home every weekend. They had weekend jobs in Dallas, and so I was alone, uh, really, Thursday through Sunday. And I had this fear that I would wake up and he would, be hovering over me. I was 20. Very, I was a very quiet person, and in some respects, I still am. But and I also weighed like 90 pounds. And this guy was over 6 feet tall. He was a big burly guy, and he was such a big man that uh, I don't know, when it became aware that I couldn't get away. I don't know, I guess I went somewhere else in my head, because I didn't really put up a fight. And I'm not sure, um, if I don't think A, it wouldn't have made a difference, I don't think. And B, I think it would have gotten a lot uglier. I've thought about that. And I think just doing what I did was the only thing I could do at the time, which was nothing. It was very surreal in that this was happening, and when I went back into the house, I closed the door, and I got back in bed, because that's what I was doing before he knocked on the door. Uh, because it was Halloween, I was gonna be going out with some friends of mine, and I was having a lie down, and I started playing events back in my head, and I was like, wait, what? Uh, wow, what just happened? And then I called my roommate, and he wanted to come back and, um, of course, kick our landlord's ass. And I said, no, I'm good. I'm gonna be going with some friends, and um, I called my mom, and my stepdad wanted to come up with a baseball bat and beat my landlord up, which was, nice. I never can tell the story very well. Um, I went to the police station to file a report. I still get angry thinking about this. I got a cop, I think, who had been on the force for 5 minutes. I told him what happened. We, went through the whole story, and his first question was, "Well, what were you wearing?" Which, again, I was having this whole, "this is surreal, what's going on" kind of experience of, seriously. Um, and I don't know, being 20, the fact that he was a cop, I don't know. I think it has more to do with me being young and not really able to sort of process my feelings. I remember feeling very angry about what he was saying, but I certainly didn't come across that way. I know that. I wore jeans and a t-shirt. Um, and inside I was boiling, seriously. And then it just got worse from there. He said, "Well, do you walk around in your underwear in front of the window with the shades up so that he could see?" And I'm like, "No." He says, do you get dressed with your shades up and, change your clothes? Uh, no. I just remember just boiling at the fact that he was even asking me these questions because so what if I was? Does that doesn't give him the right to touch me? And I think at that point, I just really wanted to get out of the police station. So we wrapped it up, and I was out of there, and I was just fuming. Um, it just kind of made a bad situation worse. I don't know. I was really nervous about calling my dad, and I did. Um, and I told him what happened. I told him that I couldn't live in that house anymore because my landlord did tell me he was going to come back for more, and I completely believe that. I still believe that he would have had he been given the chance. Um, and my dad's response to that was, "Well, how much will that cost?" And I still get angry about that too. It's been 23 years, and I still get angry at his response. I just remember sitting there, really trying to hold it together and not cry on the phone at his reaction, because it was so upsetting to me that he seemed to care that little about my welfare, and that his only concern was how much would this cost him for me to move, because we had just moved into that house 3 months prior, and um, none of us had any money to suddenly come up with a whole new deposit on a place. I said, I don't know. I just know that I can't live here anymore. And my dad's response was, "Well, I can send you $20 to change the locks," which is what I wanted to do anyway until we moved, because I did not want to wake up with him in the house. And that was a legitimate concern for me. And that made me upset as well that, okay, you're going to give me $20 to change the locks. Big fucking deal. Thank you so much. I did change the locks. And I wasn't home when uh, Fred tried to open the door, the back door, and it wouldn't. Obviously, his key didn't work, and he kicked the door open. Uh, and I believe that had I been home and he tried that and had to kick the door open, I think I would have taken the brunt of that anger as well. Uh, because he was really pissed off about the fact that we changed the locks. And legally, it was his house. And he was the landlord. He had a right to have a key. I only changed the locks temporarily so that I would feel a little safer in the house. And the thing was, when the police went to Fred, he never denied it. He pled guilty. He just didn't care. He was just a good old boy. He was retired, an old guy, which heaps me out. I was 20 and he had to have been pushing 70. And I remember his fingernails were long and he smelled like beer. Uh, and he was just a really big, burly, um, good old boy that you didn't fuck with. And I was fearful of him. But I also wasn't going to let him victimize me. I filed charges. I ended up suing him. I'm glad that I didn't just take it. I'm glad that I did go to the police, even though they were assholes. Not that I would ever want to go through anything like that again. I think I'm a better person for it and a stronger person. Yeah, let's just leave it.